Hey, everybody, welcome to So Many Sequels, your book club for movies. I'm Josh, still.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm David.
And this is the first time in at least 6 years that we've been on the podcast together, which is
Feels like it.
fantastic.
Feels that way.
Feels that way. Been a lot going on. There was vacations and sicknesses, and those all run together every time because why would
Always.
anything be easy, you know?
Yeah. August into July and August is just a tumultuous time for
Truly,
podcasters.
Truly.
Well, Josh had his birthday. Happy
I had my-
belated
Thank you.
birthday.
He's like 35
I had
now.
a birthday. Happy
Yep,
belated
Garrett had a birthday. Happy belated
David, you
birthday.
haven't had a birthday yet.
No, mine's in
Not yet.
March, so I took care of that earlier this year.
Yeah. You're not a summer boy.
No.
That's okay. Happy
It's
belated
overrated being a summer boy because here's the reasons. Well, yeah, that's the first obvious reason. It's hot. 2, growing up, couldn't have a birthday party at school. Never could. You know, we could never be the kids who are like, my mom brought cupcakes because they're no
Yeah.
kids.
But you get to
and
have
then-
pool parties if you're lucky.
That's true. That's true.
I never had
there
a
are
pool
downs,
party.
or there are plus sides. But
It's
then
always raining or cold.
there are a lot of summer birthdays.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
always like, man, there's a lot of birthdays around this one place, so you gotta do a lot of planning to hit everybody's, which is, you know, that's a good problem to have, but
Yeah.
maybe not the same problem you have in March. I don't know.
Well, see, you solve that problem by being me, and then you have birthday plans with a lot of different people, and then you get sick, and then you have to cancel them all.
Cancel.
I came back from a vacation, went to a movie. I went to see Fantastic Four with my family. By happenstance, Josh and Andrew were also at the movie theater, and the movies let out at the same time. So my
Different
family
movies.
and I are over there. Yeah, my family and I are over there taking a picture. Next thing we see is Josh and Andrew running. And I'm like, what? In the
I did like a
heck?
Naruto
And then-
run over there.
And then I got sick and canceled everything with everybody else.
And then I got sick and canceled everything.
You're welcome.
Well,
you
and
know,
no, it was too close to each other for any of us to have gotten each other
Yeah.
sick. It was the same
That's true.
weekend we all went down.
I will say
I just went down like one day sooner than you.
it is the benefit of summer birthdays that you do have potentially cool movies to go to for birthday
That's true.
parties, because
That's true.
when in March is usually dumping grounds. So
Yeah.
as a kid though, I do remember getting to have a few movie theater birthday parties. So
Keep
that
talking,
was
I gotta get
that was
some.
always my favorite.
I had one that went to. Do you remember the movie, the Adam Sandler Funny People movie?
Oh yeah.
So I went to that with some friends, thinking, "Hey, this movie's got all these funny people in it. It's literally called Funny People." And then it was
they're
the
not
most like drama-backed movie.
It's super depressing.
And we were like, I don't remember how old we are, but we were like teens, right? And so
Yeah.
we were like, this is not fun.
I gotta show
remember-
y'all
Go
the
ahead.
poster I picked up at AMC the other day. You know, they got the free posters every now and then. And, yeah, David, you could show us yours after. They had a nice Naked Gun poster, and I had to have it. He says, "I want you to pull my
Oh.
finger."
That's great.
Now, is that
I
a-
love that.
Is that a double-sided one? Is there something on the other side too? Oh, no, okay.
You're
Okay.
just seeing through it, but yeah,
that's
he's
good.
got his gun up, but his finger out. Pull my finger.
I love that.
I like that.
That's
The movie's
amazing.
super funny. I'll talk about it later. But yeah,
Well, so I've actually I got the poster that I'm about to reveal here behind me a long time ago, maybe a year ago, and it just took me forever to just go to Walmart and buy a frame. It's a huge poster. Okay, now I'm gonna go stand by. I'm gonna say this real quick. This is not necessarily like the greatest movie ever, but when you get a giant when you get a poster for free,
oh, you gotta hang it. You know,
you gotta hang it, and it's actually a pretty cool poster. So I don't know if you can see that. It's the Star Trek Insurrection poster.
you are right. Not the best
Oh.
movie, but a pretty cool poster.
It is a cool poster. I don't know if you can really get like its full glory back there, but
Unfortunately,
You'll have to
I know
post-
what it looks like
yeah.
in my head. So,
yeah.
You'll have to post it on the social medias, David.
ooh, yeah,
I will.
post it
I'll-
on.
We can all see it.
If I end up editing this episode, I'll put up a little screenshot of it right
Yeah.
here too. It is,
Yeah.
but I got that was somebody was just giving that away at work. They just had it in the break room. It said for free.
Wow.
Was it
So-
Arch?
That's.
I don't know. I don't know who it was. They put for free.
We'll have to ask. We'll have
And
to ask
so,
him in the
that was-
Arch, a friend of ours in the Discord.
Yeah.
You can join that as well if you want to talk movies and fun stuff with us. You can go there and do that. David, you asked me. Speaking of movie posters, I've got a closet full, right? And so I'm gonna say this on the show, in front of you and on the record, so that way I do it and hold myself accountable. one of the things that I have is just a closet full of random movie posters, and I want to make a game out of it. So what I'm intending to do is to try to figure out how I can make it a fun, interactive thing. So I've got like, I can give a genre, I can give a year, and I can give like a lead or a side actor or something like that. And I think that would be a fun way to kind of improve each time and see if people can figure it out. And then eventually I'll either donate them to local Circle Cinema who takes those, or maybe if you get it right, you can have the poster. Like, I don't need
do some kind of giveaway.
Yeah, so look for that soon. Because, well, don't say not soon, but look for that.
Look for that soon just means think about it sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't mean anything's going to happen for sure.
We just gotta get Garrett access to the Threads account. That's all we need.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
I'll make a video. You guys can put it out.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, so while we've all been out and about and sick and all that nonsense, sure, we've been watching a lot of stuff. I want to, David, you've got a couple Marvel shows on here. I'm intrigued by these. I know a little bit about Ironheart. I actually don't even know what Eyes of Wakanda is.
So to start with Ironheart, it is picking up the character that's introduced in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Riri Williams, and sort of her picking up where that left off. She wants to follow in Tony Stark's footsteps to an extent, build her own iron suit and stuff like that. She gets embroiled with a group of, criminals who kind of present themselves as Robin Hood type criminals, but they really aren't. But the interesting thing about it is that it sort of like blends like the magic side of the MCU with the science techie side of the MCU, and sort of just kind of blends those two together in a way that you don't really expect, because you kind of think about like Doctor Strange and Agatha all along and all that stuff over here, and you think about Iron Man and all that over on this side. So it was interesting in that perspective. I don't know, the show wasn't perfect. I think the show suffers from what a lot of the MCU shows suffer from, of being just like too long of episodes for the, like, if this had been like one like short film, like maybe like 2 hours or hour 50 minutes or something like that, cool. But it's just every episode just feels really long, and and that's not even really a problem with MCU shows. That's a problem with a lot of just like streaming shows, is they're just so long for 6 episodes or 7 episodes or 8 episodes, and it's just But that said,
are they still doing the thing on a lot of these Marvel shows on Disney Plus? I noticed it will be like an hour-long episode, but it's actually 15 minutes of credits at the end.
There are like 7 minutes or so of credits because they tack on like the credits they do for like international like dubbing and all that stuff. My favorite part of the show was actually there's an actress on it whose name I'm not going to remember now. She was also on like This Is Us, and she plays the AI character, and she's fantastic. Like, she was so energetic and fun that like she actually had me, like, she was one of the main reasons I wanted to keep watching it, was I was like, I really like this actress and her performance. Anyway, Eyes of Wakanda is an animated 4-episode series, like anthology series about Wakandan history that Ryan Coogler produced. That is honestly just really fun. I mean, it's really interesting. You get to see like Wakanda, not really, and it's about, this concept they introduced in the movies, these war dogs, these like spies that Wakanda sends out to like recover artifacts and stuff. And it's about them through time. So you see like a war dog in like, 1400 BC, and then you see like a war dog during the Trojan War, and you just see them through time and these interesting. It's only, like I said, only 4 episodes, so it's not like a super long run, but those weren't overly long, and they're honestly really cool, and they have a little bit of like other Marvel history kind of weaving into them a little bit. So I actually really like, if there's one between the two, I would recommend that a little harder, because it's an easy watch. The animation's actually much better than like What If, in my opinion, and it's just cool. It's just kind of cool historical stuff. It really kind of like inflames your imagination. So yeah, I like that one a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good to hear. I feel like, I've just given up on Marvel shows at this point in time. It's they're
Kinda.
all
I
kind
hate
of
to say it.
yeah, unless they're I think it's just again Marvel fatigue over if they bring one out that's going to interest me, then I will watch it. But like, I'm not going to watch it just because it's Marvel at this point in time.
Yeah, and I think
There's so much.
they're starting to slow down on these, and I think that they are trying to retool them back towards like a proper television show style, like a showrunner style of like we're not going to set these up to be like 50-minute long episodes with cliffhangers that just push you to the next episode, kind of the style that Netflix kind of perfected a long time ago.
You know what they need to bring back?
Huh?
Agents of Shield.
Agents
Talk
of
to me
Shield.
about bringing back Agents of Shield. That was the best
That
show
was
they've
a
done.
great show. That was like a classic TV show.
Yeah.
Like format, like 20 episodes, season arc that really peaks or like that really hits its twist in the middle, and then you kind of like have to deal with the falling out. Sometimes you'd get like two arcs in one season. Agents of Shield was great up until like season 6 or whatever.
I know we've also. I was just going to switch gears here off Marvel. I know we've also all been watching this new King of the Hill season. I think we need to talk about that because we all have seen at least some of that now.
Yeah. And we've all, I would say that, for the most part, this podcast itself is a pretty solid reference for King of the Hill. We've all watched every episode of the show multiple times. I would not consider myself an expert because my recall is not very good, but we can talk about some King of the Hill here. And
for sure,
we right above them.
Yeah, we've all seen at least the first 3 episodes of this new season, so I would say that will be our spoiler cap. We're not going to go further than that because we literally don't know it. I think David, you said you saw episode 4, but we're not there yet. But these first 3 episodes, dudes, I'm really impressed. You got Hank and Peggy back from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
that's what they call it.
Yeah, that is how Peggy. Well, truly only Peggy.
Peggy.
Which, if Peggy says it that way, that is the correct way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They've been living in Saudi Arabia for the past, I don't remember how long, 10 to 15 years, where Hank has been in charge of this massive propane operation. So of course, that's the only reason why
my
he'd
first
leave
question
America.
is that was my first question is how did they get this man to do that?
Because he only loves 4 things.
Yeah. Well, and then you see that they basically recreated Texas for him, for him to be able to live there. So, like, it all made sense.
Yeah, he got to live in a little Texas. I was dying. There's an episode later, I think the second one, where they're trying to get him back. And he's like, we'll give you a new wife. And Peggy's in the background. It's good stuff.
Peggy Hill has been the MVP for me in the first 3 episodes that I have seen. She has always been amazing, but she's literally knocked me over on my side from some of the things that she has said where I have had to pause it and back it up because she and Kathy Najimy deserves an Emmy because she's so freaking funny in this, or at least an Emmy nod because she is back in full force as Peggy Hill and it's amazing.
Peggy Hill is the most confident character I've ever seen on television.
Yeah,
we should all aspire to be like Peggy.
Peggy's ability to make any conversation about herself is something to admire because I don't know how she does it sometimes.
No.
Plus, her mindset of, I'm not going to a Pilates class.
Yeah.
I'm going to help my Pilates teacher be a better teacher. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Or Pilates, or however she said it.
And even like a casual sentence, or even like a casual statement from like Bobby or Hank. Like Hank goes, "It combines my 2 love, beer and propane," and she goes, "And of course me." And he's like, where he's kind of like. And what I love is that she's clearly like she's almost the same, but Bobby and Hank have both gotten a little tired of her shtick. To an extent, like they're both kind of like, yeah, Peggy, yeah, Mom. She was begging those. I don't know if you guys watched this episode. She's begging those guys to drink beer after her.
Oh yeah, Peggy's ale and Margaret's malt.
Ale.
Yeah,
she's all for that.
She said, I think I said her ability to be so passive aggressive, but aggressive about it is uncanny. Like it doesn't even make sense how you can be so passive aggressive and aggressive at the exact same time.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
because her passive aggressive comments are so pointed. They're not
How
even.
about
Yeah.
how about there's a small scene, but how about this small scene where Hank is watching a movie in Spanish and she's aghast that the subtitles are
Yeah.
wrong, not that her
How-
interpretation was
How
wrong.
embarrassing for them that they got the
How
subtitles
embar-
wrong.
Yeah, Peggy has you can't break her. Even
Yeah.
when she is wrong, which
Now,
that's her downside.
what I've really enjoyed so far, sort of in contrast with that, is I really like Bobby. Like Bobby
Oh, yeah.
he is still the same character, but he feels
he's-
so
he's
confident.
grown.
He feels
Yes,
so
he's of
mature,
himself.
and he's not dumb, which I really appreciate because Bobby as a character in the original King of the Hill I wouldn't call him stupid, but he was very naive, and he was very easy to manipulate. But he was he's a good wholesome boy. He just wanted
They didn't age
he's
him into a loser like they could.
no, they could have made him a loser. They could have made him kind of a dummy.
Like he's
but
not still living on the couch trying to become a comedian. Like
But
no, he found a passion in cooking.
him side eyeing the dummies that like he's forced to hang out with, and him. There's this moment where, here's a spoiler. But there's this moment where Joseph goes, "I'm the only white guy on my road crew," and Bobby just goes. He just like looks at the guy next to him, like he knows he's not and
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of they really kind of showed like the kind of character that like Hank would bring up is like Bobby's still his own guy, but he does have some Hankisms of like everybody around me is a moron, and I have to like it hasn't happened yet, and I don't know if it happens in season 1, but we are gonna get Bobby Hill telling somebody he's gonna kick their ass before the end of this reboot. He's gonna be, you know what? I'm gonna kick your ass.
I hope he does it with
That's
someone's
not-
purse.
That's not really.
That's
Bobby.
my purse. I don't know
I don't
you.
know
And then he
you.
just punches him right in the face.
It's not really in Bobby's character to want to be violent, but like at the same time, he's just
knows
gonna get
how to
so
defend
frustrated
himself.
with people.
But it's same as Hank, I don't
Yeah.
think it's in Hank's character, but he's ready to kick
Yeah.
your ass.
And he'll tell you too.
then I'm gonna
kick your
reenact
ass.
kicking
How
your
often
ass.
do we see him kick someone's ass? Not
Yeah.
not as often as he threatens it.
No.
I
So-
do. And then you got your side characters. I feel like we got to mention them a little bit. Boomhauer's a stepdad now. Not a good one, but he's a stepdad now. Dale has
come
been
on, man.
mayor of Arlen at one point.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really changed or grown in any way.
No.
And I just want to say, you'll notice that the voice of Dale is different. And some people have been like, it's different. Yes, it's a different human being who's trying to do their best to replicate an iconic character's voice.
I like
He's
it.
doing
And,
a good job.
hey-
it's not. It just let the man cook.
And look, this is just voice acting. If you go back to the first season of King of the Hill, a lot of the voice actors hadn't quite found their voice yet.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Have you
the
ever gone
guy-
back to, like,
Yeah.
season 1 of Family Guy or The
Yeah.
Simpsons? They all sound weird,
Simpsons,
too.
Yeah. So I mean, like that just takes time, and you got to let the characters grow, and the voice actors grow comfortable in those roles, and eventually, you won't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, remember when Meg was Lacey Chabert? Is that a totally different human also?
Hank has a great line in this season that, like, sums up Dale in a way that they never had in the previous run, which was, he is for entertainment only. Do not listen to what he says. He is only for entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
That's
not
why
a source of information.
Basically, you get the idea of why he keeps him around. Like, I know he's crazy, but he's fun.
And there's still, I mean, we've talked about this many times. I've said this many times, but it seems to be that for the most part, the response for the return of King of the Hill has been really positive. People are really enjoying it. And it is still so fun to me that this show that, to me, and I have to feel like for a lot of people in Texas, feels so regional to this area of the country that I can't believe people outside of this part of the country like it. But when he's driving and he sees that Oklahoma barbecue sign and he goes, "Whoa!"
Oh my God, that was another moment that
Anything
really
but
put
this.
me on my side. That was because the reveal and being in Oklahoma. I mean, man, that joke was so funny. That was truly. Oh my god.
Not
Some of
this.
my favorite jokes from the original run is when he knocks Oklahoma, because it doesn't
Yeah.
happen often, but when
You
it
know.
does,
No.
it's so well, like it's well aimed.
No,
Yes.
and it's depressingly accurate. There's an episode where he meets
And
another guy
look,
who sells
Texas
propane.
sucks.
They do.
We know
Yeah.
you guys aren't much better.
Yeah. If we had a show based here, there'd be plenty of that. There's one though that gets me where he meets some other guy who sells propane, but like doesn't really give a crap about selling it. And the guy says,
There you go.
The guy says something. He goes, "Well, at least we can still root for the Longhorns." And the guy goes, "Longhorns suck. Go Sooners!" And then he starts singing really obnoxiously, "Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner," and Hank's just like, "Whoa!" You know?
Oh my god.
Well, he's always more of
Well,
a Cowboys
Sooner
man.
fans.
Yeah.
And
It's
dad.
great to see it
Yeah.
come back and
Now-
be as funny as it was. Now, Josh, you have also been able to see something that
Yeah,
is
we got to
coming
talk
back
about.
that had some hopes of being funny. I mean, it's one of its marketing campaigns that I saw was they are literally trying to revive a dead genre in comedy, and I think that they were right. Did they succeed?
Yeah, so we got to talk. We've talked about TV shows. We got to talk about at least one movie in this episode. The Naked Gun is out now. Been out for a couple weeks. I went and saw it, and yes, you're right. The comedy genre in film is a lot. Many people are saying it. I'm saying it. You guys are saying it. It's on life support. They're not making studio comedies like they used to, for many reasons. They're not horribly expensive typically, but they still need to make a good chunk of money to buy it back, or not buy it back, but they get their money back. And we talked about this clip going around of Ben Stiller talking about the comedy genre and things like that, and how movies have really been cut off from a lot of profits by streaming and the lack of physical media sales. Because in the old days, a good solid comedy could have a decent run at the theaters and then pick up a ton of money on DVD sales. And that is gone. It doesn't exist anymore because nobody pays extra for streaming a movie. So it has led to this scenario, I think, where they just don't make them anymore because it's safer to make a big budget movie that might knock it out of the park, or a small budget movie that might get them a prestigious award. That's kind of the middle ground they're in now. So the Naked Gun come out with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson in the starring roles. Reboot, no. Actually, I don't think you call it a reboot because one of the jokes in here is basically everybody's the son or daughter of somebody from the first movie. So it is a sequel in that sense. Like Liam Neeson is Leslie Nielsen's son, which now I almost wonder if they cast him because of the similarities in names.
It's possible.
I know.
Leslie Nielsen and Liam Neeson.
I thought that initially as well.
But it's a very simple story. He's trying to solve crime. It's not like this big grand thing, but it is like a joke every 45 seconds where if you don't laugh at one, you're gonna get hit with a few. Just give it a couple minutes. I want to go see it again because I think there's a ton that I missed, but there's just so many jokes. And the theater I was in, the audience seemed to love it. And this is an experience I like where sometimes a joke would hit, and I'll be frank, I was the only one that laughed out loud. But then sometimes there's a joke that would hit, and I wouldn't laugh, but some guy down the aisle from me would be like, so it's like they're hitting a lot of areas if that's happening. And then there's plenty of moments where everybody's laughing. So Liam Neeson, if you question his comedy chops at all, don't. He's pretty good at that too.
Yeah.
They really lean into his Liam Neeson as an actor has this kind of elevated version of himself that's like the Taken guy, I'm gonna kill you, and da. They lean into that. He's that kind of cop.
Sure.
In the trailers, he comes in dressed as this little girl, and then like pulls off a little girl's face, and it's Liam Neeson in a dress. Like, yeah, he's that kind of funny action star. Pamela Anderson, hysterical. If you saw her in last year's The Last Showgirl, she got a lot of buzz for that. Really kind of brought her back into the spotlight in a dramatic role. She is also very funny. She is perfectly cast in this role. They're dating now in real life. You can see their chemistry
Yeah,
on
we
screen
love
is
that.
real. Like, man, it was just a good movie. I felt good after it. I went with Andrew. I think he also felt good after it. And sometimes you don't know about him. He'll be like, it's too stupid.
Yeah.
But no, we both liked it. So the Naked Gun
Excellent.
I'm happy to hear
director
that.
Akiva
Akiva
Schaffer
Schaffer,
from The Lonely
yeah.
Island. He's done several movies that I think are hysterical. So
Mhm.
highly recommend The Naked Gun, so that they make not even just another Naked Gun movie, but so they make more stupid comedies that don't need to
Are
be a big
smart.
deal. Smart, stupid comedies,
Yeah.
yeah, because it is
'Cause
smart, as dumb as it is.
Not just stupid comedies because whoever is in it is stupid. Like that is essentially what exists now, is that the comedy is just so bad, it's not good, it's stupid, and so they're hiring
Uh,
people who have niche followings to play them because that will help them at least get something back.
and something in line with what you were
Stupid.
saying, Josh, is that Netflix has specifically come out and said, "Hey, we're just buying these comedies. Like, don't worry about having to make your big profit, because we will give you $80 million for this comedy movie to put on our streaming service." And that's why they signed a deal with like Adam Sandler to get like his next 10 films or whatever it was at the time. Like,
And
that's one other reason you're not seeing it, because this stuff just goes straight to streaming.
well, and I'd say
And it's not funny.
Happy
that one,
Gilmore
yeah.
2 is a good example of a stupid comedy, and The Naked Gun is a good example of a smart, stupid comedy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think there's a line there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, Netflix buys them up, and then those movies do no longer make a dime on Netflix. That's the important thing for consumers to remember. As many times as you watch it, nobody made any dimes from that. They paid for it
Except
one
Netflix.
time. Right.
Except Netflix, and they
Well-
keep raising your prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We had to
Just
fit
saying.
in an anti-capitalist message in there somewhere.
Always.
Well, these things are falling apart in terms of the industry tradition and like legacy structure of it. There was I shared on Threads last night, and you can see it on our So Many Sequels one too. Rolling Stone had an article out this week about physical media being cool again,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and people are going to town on eBay, vintage shops, finding complete series of their favorite shows because they're sick of all these streaming services. They're sick of it moving from one service to the next, and they're
Yep.
like, just get me back to the DVDs. You guys took a good thing and ruined it."
Yeah.
Oh, they always do. It's all about the making money. How can I make money out of this and screw
Well,
everybody
the
else?
rights about it, and it's switching from this to there. Hey, we'll sell you these rights for a little while, and go revert back over here. The only thing we got to figure out is how to make a Blu-ray player or a DVD player, something like that is not annoying to have to deal with.
Well, so they
That's
just
my
need
only
to go
problem.
back to the old style of like a car CD changer
Mm-hmm.
and give me a Blu-ray player that'll hold 6 discs at once, and you put a whole season
You
of
remember
show
the
in
one?
there.
You remember the one we had at the radio
That's a great
station that
idea,
had like
Josh.
6 discs? And you
Yes,
just...
yes, and then you just switch
Or
discs.
you load. You have friends over. Everybody brings a movie. You put it in there.
Movie
and
roulette.
then-
Yes.
Movie roulette.
Or even
just
the
made a game.
ability, here we go, even the ability to rip DVDs to your TV. That way you have a digital version of it, but
If you want to sail the high seas,
just on
I'm
your
not a
TV.
cop. I know I neither encourage nor discourage because I'm not a cop. You do what you want to do.
It's true.
No, it's so real though. Like I've had the same thought. Like I've got a box. I have a bunch of DVDs in a cardboard box next to my TV because for so long I've been thinking I want to get rid of them, and now I'm starting to think I need to go through them actually, and maybe
No,
keep
the
them.
the only challenge there is that a lot of people don't think about this, but over time, physical media can, like the disc itself
can
can like
deteriorate.
corrupt and deteriorate. So like that's the hard part is
But
once
s-
these
but-
things go, can you get them again?
But you know what? So can a streaming service just disappear one day?
I know, but that's what I'm saying is definitely
So
get the
there's
physical
both.
media now, but take good care of it because don't just leave it out in your garage.
Well, and this is
because
why
stuff will go bad.
I remain hopeful that they won't stop making it. Like
Mm-hmm.
they've cut down a lot, but they haven't fully stopped making Blu-rays. So if they can keep that up, and if these shops like Criterion
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot can continue making special editions, A24 is really good about making their physical media really nice, and you want to collect it. So
Well, and
it's going to come down to that.
unfortunately, if these studios believe they can make money doing it, then physical media will have an even bigger boom. Like if they can
Yeah.
find a way to make it make money,
Look at
There you
AMC and Regal and Cinemark with their popcorn buckets. People want to buy them. It doesn't matter that they're 20 to 30
Sometimes
bucks.
I don't even
And
see
I
the
get
movie.
it. They're cool. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, speaking of
All right.
AMC, let's talk about
Yeah.
some of these different news items real quick that we were talking about this week.
Yeah. Let's move on. AMC is already backing down on this. I feel like this wasn't even maybe a month ago, maybe just a couple weeks ago, where they were like, they cut a deal to add about 5 to 10 minutes of new ads into their pre-roll, making the full pre-show about 25 to 30 minutes long. That upset a lot of people, including the studios, who are the only ones they're actually listening to. Again, with the anti-capitalist message, it wasn't consumers who made them change their mind. It was studios saying, wait a minute, you are discouraging people from coming to the pre-show, thereby our trailers aren't being seen. Thereby, how are they going to come see this next movie in the theaters? Which, that makes sense. So they're already scrambling to try to find ways to cut back on that.
What was the point? I mean, I know that they're trying to make money.
They need to make
That's
money.
what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But like, why?
How I don't know, other than I'm not a studio, or I'm not an AMC or theater executive, so I don't know what it takes to make money, but I know that they need to make money, and an easy way seems like selling ad space.
I mean, ad space, yeah, it is an easy way to make money. There is, I mean, if you just look at the year to years, there are less people going to the movie theaters, in terms of like gross ticket sales. Not even money, because you look at the money and inflation helps it look like nothing's changed over the last 20 years. But in terms of total ticket sales, people just aren't showing up as much. So that's why that's why they're doing these crazy popcorn buckets. That's why they're selling ad space. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if you see them, like they've been talking about doing all this other crazy stuff, adding pickleball courts and mini malls and stuff. Like, they got to find a way to stay financially above water.
Right.
And so, the consumer hates it. Like having to sit through a bunch of ads before you get to the movie. It's just difficult.
They've done a lot to hook big movie fans, I think. Like, as an AMC A-list member, it has never been cheaper for me to go to the movies. That is a reality that subscription makes possible. Now, I understand that without it, it's wildly unaffordable in a lot of ways, especially for the bigger your family is. But for $25 a month, I can go almost 16 times a month if I want to. I think it's 4 a week. So they've already hooked me there. They've got some of my money there, but they got to figure out how to make more off the normie, who isn't going to do that and who balks at the ticket price.
Well, and we're pretty.
Go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say we're pretty fortunate that in Oklahoma, like prices are not as bad as I've seen other people say. Like people who live in bigger states or live in like New York, California, where the ticket prices are insane.
This is the recurring theme that I keep coming back to, but like, listen, at some point in time, people who make decisions and people who are excited about making money, these people who make the decisions, they've got to learn and understand that they have reached the point where less is more. You cannot just keep, and I have used this phrase in a past episode, jizzing out every single thing that you think of, because that is the level that we've reached at. Netflix just buying things because they want people to just come back to their stuff. We talked earlier about like, how can we make physical DVD? Listen, they've all created already a massive server where they can have stuff. Stop creating new things and create it like the Disney Vault, where if you buy a physical copy of a Disney thing, Disney has the digital copy, and then you have that. Listen, I know that it's not going to make you money because people won't be buying the subscription, but people will buy your DVDs, and you will have control of the physical copy and the digital copy. Make better stuff, and more people will want to buy your stuff.
I mean, and
stop
that's
just cranking it out.
That's the not so dirty little secret, is that these streaming services, on the whole, don't make them money anyway. They're all so deep in the hole, except for Netflix, I think.
And so they're just trying to get they're trying to tap a dry well at this point in time.
I've also heard
there's nothing else that they can do. And the ESPN is doing their $30 a month for whatever. Stupid. We've lost the point. Go back to just get rid of your streaming service. Go back to where there's Netflix that you
Simplify it
send
at
stuff
least.
to, and listen, you all will lose a little bit to start with, and I know that's really scary, but live with us, and you'll find that it's really
Well,
doable, and then you'll start making money again.
it's interesting
You
because
can't keep doing the same well.
that was, in a way, the whole initial concept of Hulu, is that major studios and broadcasters would each have an ownership in it and each contribute. And now in
They got greedy.
in 15 plus years of Hulu's life, it is now fully owned by Disney.
Yep.
To
Just
the
like
point where
everything else.
they're getting rid of the Hulu app next year.
There is
And that's
such
the thing.
a
That goes back to the mergers and all of that. It's just when one entity owns 80% of whatever, they have got to find a way to make themselves money, and they will just keep doing this,
There-
and
Can
then
I
it's going
say-
to drive down
and
the
then-
content.
We'll probably need to get toward wrapping up on this episode, but I gotta say one thing to quote. I want to quote Bill Burr, who is a comedian I quite enjoy. He was talking about, these companies, these big companies, and how filthy rich many of them are, and how they're just continuing to make more money, and
Yeah.
they can't. And he was like, "What if instead of being worth $1 billion, you just paid people more and you were worth 900 million? Would that hurt you?
Right.
Would it
Yeah.
hurt you to be worth 900 million instead of
Yes,
1 billion?
because if you've
that's what
seen
it is.
Mountain Head, as soon
which
as
I
that
haven't
net
yet.
worth goes down, the little club of net worth goes, "Oh, look at me! I jumped." Then they get the little
They
they
keep
get the
s-
little syndrome. They do, and they measure and stuff, and they feel small, and then they have to make themselves big.
They
how
keep
are they going
spending
to
and
afford to
spending
buy
and
their
spending and
dinosaurs?
spending.
All right.
Exactly.
Like and then they cut costs in places where it hurts.
Yeah.
But it
To
would
save
never.
them money.
I'm gonna call him out. It will never hurt your pocketbook, Bob Iger. It will never hurt your pocketbook to cut your salary and save some people.
David Zaslav.
Or David Zasloff, or
Who
Reed
else do we know?
Hastings, or Jeff Bezos, or
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg. He probably wants a streaming service. You
You
could
tell-
all
you
be
look
worth
me in the
1
face.
billion less, and we could
You
all
look
be
me
worth
in the
more.
face and tell me that Disney's struggling, and I will ask you how. That doesn't make any sense. They own every
financials
single
is the
thing.
only way.
How are you struggling? Yeah, exactly. You're paying people too much. You give them bonuses to the wrong people.
There's that. There's
And it's the same
there's
way with all
also
of the companies like that.
and yeah, I think we got to move on. But the last thing I am going to say about this is that broadly speaking, there is a lack of at the billionaire level, at the corporate level, they do not know how to
People.
function in this world in which our culture is becoming more and more fractured and more like segmented into different things that we want. Like, they just don't know how to do it. They don't know how they can continue to be a $1 billion company in a world where people say, I don't want to go to the movie theaters. Like, that's the whole thing. Specifically with the movie business, their entire thing is built around making movies. That's how they know how to make money. And now people are like, nah, I'll just wait till it's more or less free. Like, and that's partly on them. They created a model in which people can get movies for basically free if they wait long enough.
Yep.
So
All
what
right.
are you gonna do?
Those are good rants. David, why don't you wrap us up with a quick look at this weekend's box office?
I will. Hey, Weapons debuted to a pretty solid $42 million. Great reviews for this movie as well. I think it's like a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. And like
I'll talk about it later in the week.
well, there you go. We'll get a special review from Josh, as well as pretty solid on Letterboxd. The first movie by Zach Cregers, is that how you pronounce his last name? I believe he made Barbarian. That made $40 million in its entire U.S. run, and this debuted to $42 million. So Zach Cregers is a
Barbarian
rising star. Barbarian, great movie. Loved when it was over. Freakier Friday, also pretty strong with $29 million in its opening weekend. Lot of fun. I think Josh, you got to see that one too.
We'll talk
Some
about
nostalgia, some silliness. And then at number 3, you have Fantastic Four: First Step, slides down in the number 3 spot with $15 million. The Bad Guys 2 in number 4 with $10.4, and The Naked Gun rounds out the top 5 with $8.3. Superman finally falls out of the top 5 this weekend. Good run for Superman, and still doing well. by all metrics. So. Yeah, that's your box office wrap up. Hey, if you guys liked my box office recap I did last week, if you still haven't been watching right now, let me know. I'll consider doing more of it. I don't know.
I liked it, David.
I did too.
I'll let you know.
I did. I watched it.
I made
on
graphics.
Spotify, which you can do too, and you can watch it on YouTube, where our video episodes exist.
Yeah.
I already feel out of practice. Yeah, that'll do it for us today, though. You can find us at somanysequels.com, where we have links to all of the places all the platforms we exist on. Because as we've discussed, there's too many. If we could have a Netflix profile, that'd be cool. Nope, I'm gonna get off topic. Find us on somanysequels.com. Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts, and we will see you guys later in the week with more movie talk. Bye.